October 31st, and we are 3 days away from the 2020 election between Joe Biden and Donald J. Trump. This video will be talking about how Joe Biden is most likely going to win for two main reasons: the amount of people that have voted and early voting. Uh, as we get into today's topic, this does not say Joe Biden will win by 100%, but is most likely gonna win. Obviously, Trump does have a chance of winning, but it is very low. He has a 1 in 10 chance of winning, so obviously that isn't great, but that doesn't mean that there is no chance of winning. So remember that. And again, just because Joe Biden's most likely going to win doesn't mean you guys shouldn't vote. If you can vote and you haven't voted yet, vote right now. I would say it's too late to vote by mail. It's 3 days, so you have to go to the polls to have your vote actually be counted. If you did it in advance, it would have been better. But now, it's too late. So yeah. So, we'll be talking about Joe Biden and his plan and why. So, we'll first map out the country and the states. So we can go with Joe Biden's safe states. So you can do California, you can do the West Coast, most of, so yeah, most of the East Coast, Virginia, Illinois, most of Colorado. It's pretty much safe. Hawaii. Yeah, so 217 would be it. And then you can go with the Trump's safe states. Go Montana, Wyoming, Utah, Alaska, Idaho, South Dakota, Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, and Indiana. Okay. So where I'm trying to get here right now is that in the past, Democrats tend to win when there are a lot of people coming out to the polls and voting. Republicans tend to win when that does not happen. When Republicans are the most consistent when it comes to voting, Democrats are not. And so when not a lot of people come to the polls and vote, Republicans tend to win. As you can see in 2016, not a lot of people came, yet the Republicans won. In 2018, a lot of people came out to vote. The Democrats won the House. Again, you can do that in 2008, 2012, Democrats won. There's a lot of instances in the past and previous elections for Republicans winning because there were not a lot of people coming to the polls. So when Obama won, a lot of people came out to the polls. So if you use this website, it gives you the statistics of the 2020 general election and what states and what percentage of them have voted compared to last year. So let's say 50 people voted in Texas, and now 100 people voted in Texas already. They would calculate how much have they voted more in 2020 than in 2016. So as you can see here, almost 10 million people have voted. And you can see on this here. And so as you can see in these large populated states, Florida, Texas, and California, not New York for some reason, but in Texas where early voting is, as you can see, it's more likely for the Democrats and Joe Biden to win in these states. Obviously, this is not 100% going to happen. Obviously, California, most likely 100% going to be vote for Joe Biden, but Texas, maybe. but now we know that he have a better chance of winning Texas. And same with Florida. Florida has 8 million, which is right. You can see right here. It's at the bottom. Now, as you can see in the Rust Belt, where the Democrats have failed to win in 2016, not a lot of people are coming out to vote, which can hurt. Not have sent in their ballot, which can hurt the Democrats. Obviously, as we know, more Democrats than Republicans send in their ballots through mail. So obviously that could show, but this is kind of scary for the Democrats and Joe Biden. Obviously, if Texas is able to turn blue, they would be able to substitute Michigan, Wisconsin, and Pennsylvania. But again, Texas is not so much safe. So obviously, it's kind of going for a field goal, then going for a touchdown. So Texas would be going for the touchdown when on your 4th and 1, while going and in the Rust Belt, it would be going for a field goal. So obviously, if you don't understand what I'm trying to say is, if you don't understand sports, what I'm trying to say is it's better to take the safer option and win, but not by a huge margin, than going with the more risky option and win by a huge margin, but also lose by a huge margin. So obviously, taking the safer option would be the best option in this scenario. But obviously, this is not a polling situation. Obviously, I'm not saying now all these states are going to mostly turn red, and these 3 states are going to vote 100% going to vote Democrat. This is just shows the data, and you can just use from previous elections and see why Texas may turn blue. Again, I'm not saying it will turn blue. It just has a better chance to think that it may turn blue. Obviously, I'm not trying to convince you that it turn blue. I'm just saying, giving you the evidence, and you just take it into your own hand, not to make assumptions that it will turn blue. Again, this is not a polling map. This is just a map that shows which states have voted more. Obviously, Montana does not have 10 million people, so obviously that does show. So that's why you can go in. You can go through here and look all that. But I'll keep it in my description if you want to look at it. But otherwise, that's pretty much it. And you can play around to see what states are doing well and all that. But otherwise, again, that is not a polling map. It's just a map that shows which states have voted already and by how much. Now let's go to 538. This is a polling map, and I would say this would be the most accurate, or one of the most accurate polling websites out there. Because again, if you don't want to use Trafalgar Group or anything, because that is a right wing polling source, and you don't not and obviously you want to use a website that is not leaning or far right, far left group. You want a moderate and also has more accurate data. Obviously, Trafalgar Group got the election right last year, but again, a broken clock is right at least twice a day. So obviously, just because you got once doesn't mean it's going to be forever. 538 has got pretty accurate in previous elections. And also, they take various polls and weight each poll correctly and appropriately, and then take the average of all those polls and get Joe Biden to 90% of winning this election. As you can see, Donald Trump has gone from a 13% 6% chance of winning just last week to a 10% chance, which is not good. Let's look here. Let's see. Start a month ago, a month ago, Trump had a 20% chance of winning, which wasn't great, but obviously there was a lot of room to improve, a lot of room. He could have gone to like 40%. He did not. He went the opposite direction, and it's now at 10%, the lowest he has been. And this is very surprising for an incumbent president to be polling at 10%. And that is interesting. Obviously, you can look through here. Trump wins the popular is 3 in 10. So that obviously shows that he has a better chance of winning the election, the electoral college, than the popular vote. Trump winning a landslide is pretty low. More than 50% is pretty low. It's not gonna. Biden wins the 50%. Yeah, it's most likely. As you can see, Trump does not have a clear advantage in this election. Obviously, there's so much data here, and other moderate websites. But what I'm trying to say is that if you want to learn more about this election and who has a better chance of winning, 538 is one of your best places to go. If not, you can use 270 to win. They also do the similar thing. They take data from all of these. They also take data from 538, but take data from all of these different polling websites, and they take the average. They run a simulation, at least I think 25,000 times. So again, places that have multiple sources to back them up and weight them give you a better forecast. I'm pretty sure that's it for my video. It wasn't as detailed as the previous one. This was just a way to just talk about the election. Obviously, we're 3 days away from the election. I don't think there's a lot more to talk about. I don't think Biden's going to go down by a huge margin, maybe 1%, or might go up by 1%, but it's not going to do a lot. 80 million people have already voted. 80 million people. That's 2/3 of the people that voted in 2016. So that's obviously surprising. That's very surprising for me. Obviously wasn't as great as the other ones. Today I'm doing this late at night, like at the last few minutes of October. But yeah, I haven't been posting in a while because it's just been a stressful week. But hopefully I can make more. There's anything more to talk. I think tomorrow I will be making a video about Trafalgar Group and other right-wing polls and why I should trust 538, and I'll get more in depth in there. But otherwise, have a great day. See you later. And I guess if you can, vote or just stay in politics, learn more, learn something every day. Pretty much. I don't know how to end this, but yeah, bye.